590 gold? Decent haul. After all, no two words in Guild Wars are as equivalent to gold as spirit shards. These innocent looking shards are the biggest gold maker you've been carrying around since hitting level 80. Spirit shards pile up from a bunch of different activities. Some events, like killing treasure mushrooms, drop a guaranteed spirit shard. Consuming tomes of experience at level 80 character grant shards. Having completed all masteries in an expansion allows for refilling the XP bar infinitely, granting a spirit shard each time it fills. Opening some chests, the list goes on. This currency can be converted into about 1 gold, 20 silver per shard, and they seem to just keep finding their way back into your inventory. So let's look at the pros and cons of spirit shard conversion and then break down how to do the conversions. Pros. The resource generation is passive and happens no matter what else you're doing. There's a lot of gold to be made very consistently, and besides having to look up a third-party website, there's no skill required to make it happen. Cons. You need a lot of gold to actually begin this in earnest. Be ready to invest at least 50 to 100 gold, and know that doing up to 800 gold's investment at a time is an advantage. While spirit shards stock up automatically, it goes faster if you've already unlocked some mastery types and play a lot in those zones. And the gold invested will sometimes have to stay invested for a month or more if you want to maximize your payouts. To get started, all you need is a cache of spirit shards and a bunch of gold. You can check out how many spirit shards you have available by opening your inventory and going to the wallet through this spot. You can't really make an easy comparison with the short-term ways of earning gold here, so gold per hour isn't really relevant, but let's say each spirit shard is worth about a gold. Sometimes you get more, sometimes less, but that means that I have more than 1600 gold in my wallet right now, with the only lock to activate them being that I need to invest enough gold to get it sold for that profit. I had about 2200 shards before starting on this type of investment, so I've been successfully getting rid of shards, but they keep crawling back up every time I don't actively spend them. So let's get you going before you end up drowning in shards, eh? This all works because some materials drop much more commonly than others. Ironically, the least valuable material is oftentimes the tier 5 one, as that is the most common drop for a max level zone, which is where most people spend their playtime. So what we're doing here is spending spirit shards to convert materials that drop commonly into materials that are rarer and therefore much more expensive. We're lucky that we have a community tool available to keep track of the trading post prices for us. This is the Fast Farming community website. On this website, you can simply look up which conversions give the most profit. I like to sort by profit per shard, as I would rather not waste the resource even if it is commonplace. So at the recording of this video, the conversions from bone splinters to bone shards to bones, glittering dust to shimmering dust to radiant dust, and from soft wood planks to seasoned wood planks look good. I like to find a bunch of different things to invest in since I have a decent pile of gold to log away. And I like to find things that are profitable through multiple steps, since I can then add 15% profit from the materials I didn't have to sell to the trading post. For example, the bone splinters are made into bone shards, and these bone shards are then made into bones. Then I only have to sell the bone itself and not the shards along the way. So now that we know what to sell, we have to go to the trading post and put in buy orders for everything we need. These materials generally sell in enormous numbers, so even if there's a couple of thousand in front of you, you don't have to raise the amount you're willing to pay. Then it's nice to take a little note or picture of what that gold material sells for, since it's the number the web page is going off to calculate your profit. Here bones sell for 14 silver and 64 copper, radiant dust for 7 silver and 63 copper, and seasoned wood planks for 2 silver and 55 copper. Materials can move up and down in price a lot, so you don't have to undercut at the time you try to sell. Personally, I put up my platinum at 4 silver, 2 copper, and it has sold for that once every 3 or 4 months so far. So the current price of 3 silver and 27 copper doesn't bother me. Now go to the trading post and bulk buy order the items we want to convert. Personally, I like to purchase between 15 and 30,000 of each item, but that's based on nothing more than personal experience that it sells decently quickly on the other end. Most often you'll have a large chunk of materials to work with within the first couple of hours. As I wake up the next morning here, a bunch of the bone splinters have been bought in this case. Grab whatever materials you have, as well as any identical ones you might have in material storage. You'll also need one piece of material you're converting it to, and all the dust you have at that level. So I'm grabbing my bone shards and bones, as well as a bunch of shimmering dust and radiant dust. With these materials in hand, head to the nearest Mystic Forge and purchase a stack of Philosopher's Stones from the Mystic Forge attendant. Then interact with the forge and load it up with materials. Click Forge, click Refill, click Forge, repeat until out of materials. The materials you're then left with should then be sold as sell orders. I wrote down that bones cost 14 silver, 64 copper, so I'm looking to put them up for that. I see that the price has gone down a bunch overnight, but as I said, this doesn't bother me. When writing my sell order, I check to see how many orders are around it, and I can see that there are no longer any orders for the exact amount, and the closest order above it is 82 copper, so I put my order up at 81, figuring that it doesn't put my shards further behind in the queue and nets me another 85 5 silver or so. So that's pretty much spirit shard conversion in a nutshell. But is this fun for you? In the introductory video, I shared my thoughts on how you can make gains while still having fun. And to gain the spirit shards for this, you might want to try some short-term gains, like the meta events that there's a video for here that might interest you. Till next time.